This is the Talking About It 23 Sneaker Channel! Talking About It 23 Sneaker Channel です。毎日アップするので、毎日見てください. Every single day I bring you content from Tokyo, Japan about sneakers, upcoming sneaker releases, sometimes get sneakers in hand. Back here I've got my UltraBoost Uncaged Parlay on show because today it's all about an ADIDAS UltraBoost sneaker, but I do not own a pair of the UltraBoost 19s like many people out there. The cage on the UltraBoost 19s put me way off and I haven't caught myself a pair yet. I may do, I may not do, I'm not entirely sure. But that's why I've got an older pair of UltraBoost back here, not the 19s that we're talking about today, when we look at the upcoming release of two colorways for the UltraBoost 19 to celebrate the Toy Story 2, the Toy Story 4 release. As I said in the introduction, today is all about celebrating the Toy Story 4 release of the UltraBoost 19s. There's two pairs of them. One's the Woodies and one is the Buzz Lightyears, and we're looking at those two. One of them I think they've got just right and one of them I think they've got just wrong. And the features on the one that they've got just right is quite interesting to me because I'm super hypercritical of a particular feature on sneakers, and that feature is on the sneaker that I prefer of these two, but it isn't something I'm critical of, which is kind of unusual. So stay tuned to find out what it is about one of these UltraBoost 19s that I really like that I usually don't like, which helps me get behind one of these sneakers. Before we do that, quick word about subscribers. Of course, please do subscribe to the channel, but also please do watch for a long time. My watch time is lagging behind my subscriber count a little bit, and I need to have both of them at about the same level so that when I get up to around about 1,000 subscribers, I'll be able to make this channel a bit more successful. So please do watch for as long as possible. 最近の日本語で言ってないんだけど、登録をお願いしますね。登録も、見る時間を長くすると助かるので、ぜひ登録をしたり、長く見てください。And I do sometimes slip into the Japanese, and I don't think I've taught you today's Japanese word. I did say that in this week's videos I'll be teaching Japanese, and so far I've taught you eigo, no, jimaku. They are the three words that I've taught you this week. And the word that I'll be teaching you today is very simple. It's o, which is a difficult word to actually pronounce in Japanese because the start of it is a very quiet W and then an O, and it sounds like o. And that's very important in the Japanese language when you put it between two words, when you want something to happen. So if you said, for example, bring me the bread, you'd say pan wo, and that's like get the bread over here sort of thing. So the wo is very important. So far this week we have eigo no jimaku wo, and that's as I say in Japanese right now. I will say that to people in Japanese right now. Eigo no jimaku wo osusume shimasu. Eigo no jimakuをするとわかりやすいので、ぜひ英語を読みながら、東京バラ23の英語を聞きながら見てください。日本語の字幕を入れたいんですけど、それは修道しないといけないのでできません。だから英語の字幕をおすすめします。Okay, and in that little spiel of Japanese there, you probably heard some of the words that eigo no jimaku wo, which is part of the sentence that we'll get to at the end of this week. Okay, now let's get into these sneakers. So there are two of them. There's the Buzz Lightyear version and there's the Woody version. And which of the two do I think is right spot on and which of the two is for me? It's the Woodies that I think are really spot on, which is saying something because there's a feature on there that I don't usually like. But let's have a look at those Woodies right now. And they're spot on in a lot of different ways. If we start with the prime knit on the front, that sort of toe box area, they've got the mix of colours and they're really spot on. And if you think of Woody with his sort of cowboy hat and his shirt and all that kind of thing, and all the colours that he wears, browns and yellows and things like that, they really mix the prime knit really well on the front half of this sneaker to sort of represent that Woody vibe. And then as you go back onto that much maligned cage, it's not actually that bad a looking cage on this because again they've got the colours right on it. They've darkened the cage itself, and then the three-stripe branding on the side there has some colour in there to help it to pop. So that's a really cool feature of this shoe. And then we continue on up from that. We've gone from the front, the prime knit at the front, back to the cage, and then back a little bit more on both of these sneakers, the Buzz Lightyears and the Woodies. On the tongue, they've got that Toy Story 4 branding up on there, which is a pretty cool feature. And then as we come around to the back of the sneaker, you've got a kind of unusual pop of colour on the heel counter. The heel counter is one of the most innovative parts of the UltraBoost 19s. And you can see right here up in the screenshot with that, the heel counter and a sort of pop popping colour there as well. And then we go up from all of that to the top line, which has got an interesting sort of hit of patterning in there, which is quite subtle if you look at it. It doesn't really match the rest of the lining within the shoe, but then you go right into the shoe and you can see Woody himself there on the insole. So altogether, I think that's a great looking shoe. But then the feature that really kicks it off for me is actually the outsole. Usually I'm extremely critical of gum soles on sneakers. They have to be just right. I think brands like Adidas and Nike, they throw a gum sole on a shoe too easily, and it's just for sales or gimmick or hype. But in the case of these UltraBoost 19 Woodies, I actually think it looks really good. It fits the aesthetic of the shoe, and I really like this shoe in total. It's a really cool looking shoe. But then we get across to the Buzz Lightyears. Just about everything I just said about the Woodies, I don't like about the Buzz Lightyears. I think they got the colours all wrong in the prime net on the front of the shoe. Buzz Lightyear is purples and greens, you know, he's a sort of vibrant, almost 80s kind of colours, and this subtle sort of hints of colour in the prime net on the toe box. No, don't get it. The cage on the side, way too simple. The back half of the sneaker is actually a sort of light green colour, but you know, even from a couple of meters away, it just looks like it's white. So any colouring that's in that upper there is really completely lost. Of course, like I said, the Toy Story 4 branding on the tongue is still there, and just like on the Woodies around the top line, there's a bit of coloration, which I think is not continued into the sneaker, but what is on the inside is you've got Buzz Lightyear there, and if you look at Buzz Lightyear on that insole there and think of the vibrant colours that make up him and his character, and then you look at the total of that kind of the upper of the shoe and how pale and pastel colours it is, it really doesn't do it for me. And then you flip the thing upside down and see a white outsole on the white boost, and that just sort of confirms my suspicions that it's just too pale, too light, too pastel, too opaque. I don't know how to put it, but everything that the Woodies are, I think the Buzz Lightyears are not, and I much prefer the Woodies to the Buzz Lightyears. Okay, it's time for me to sign off, and thank you guys for checking in today. I really appreciate it. Thank you for checking out my review of these upcoming Toy Story 4 Adidas UltraBoost 19s. They're a cool looking sneaker. I'll be back again tomorrow with another Adidas when we look at the ZX 4000 4D, is it crimson? Yellow crimson perhaps? That's coming tomorrow. I've already looked at two on the channel, so I'll be looking at these, a third one, seeing a comparison between those previous twos to see what's new and what's been updated. For now, it's time to check out. Thank you guys for checking in my content, and let me just say for the final times I do at the end of all my videos, I will see you tomorrow.